Muad'Dib Usul. Maybe you could be Fremen. Maybe I'll show you the way.
Now that the Oscars are over, people are already talking about what may get nominated next year. Perhaps because it came out just days before Academy Awards '96, the top of the list is already Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2. The second part of Dune was scheduled to be released last year, but was postponed during the SAG and WGA strikes. The second Dune was always going to be highly anticipated. Villeneuve has gotten huge stars. Timothy Chalamet was cast as Paul Atreides. And in the first part of Dune, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Stellan Skarsgård, Javier Bardem, Dave Bautista, as well as Florence Pugh and Zendaya and Rebecca Ferguson. The second part adds stars like Christopher Walken as the Emperor, Austin Butler, and Léa Seydoux. Dune has always been an interesting book series to adapt. Frank Herbert, who wrote the series, was directly interested in themes like human survival, ecology, and the history of colonialism and resource extraction, as well as religion and the ways in which powerful messianic figures could shape the culture in ways that are extremely dangerous to the benefit of those in power already. Dune is inherently political in a way that transcends any individual moment, but reflects every moment.
These outsiders, the Harkonnens, came long before I was born. By controlling spice production, they became obscenely rich. Richer than the Emperor himself.
An interplanetary system run by a far-off emperor and managed by houses such as Atreides and Harkonnen get their power from the ability to exploit and mine spice, the universe's most important resource, that is located on the desert planet Arrakis. This means keeping the Fremen, who live on Arrakis, weak and leaderless, the victims of colonialism on a galactic scale. The House Atreides, ruled by Paul's father Leto, was sent to manage Arrakis, having to leave their lush planet of Catalan. Jealousy and intrigue pitted the House Harkonnen against House Atreides, ending with House Atreides falling and Leto failing to assassinate the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, and instead getting assassinated himself, ending his power.
There's no satellites over Arrakis. The Atreides would die in the dark.
Herbert has Paul Atreides, who is now trapped on Arrakis with his mother, Lady Jessica, manipulating the prophecies of the Bene Gesserit, a powerful religious sisterhood, to declare himself the Messiah of Arrakis, or the Lisan al-Gaib, and then becoming an incredibly tyrannical ruler, the Emperor himself. A warning about the messianic power of religion and how it can be used to manipulate everyone. Frank Herbert and Denis Villeneuve were both also inspired by the story of Lawrence of Arabia. Among the influences for the Dune saga was T. Lawrence's Seven Pillars of Wisdom, another story about the desert and an outsider coming into a culture he ingratiates himself into in order to play the role of savior during a large-scale resource-based conflict. All of this in Denis Villeneuve's movies needs to be shown for a mainstream universal audience. In the second part of Dune, we see Paul Atreides attempting to fit in with the Fremen.
Don't try to impress anyone. You're brave, we all know that. Be simple, be direct. Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy.
Hey, I'm serious. Nothing fancy, or you will shame my teaching.
I won't shame you.
His mother, Lady Jessica, a member of the Bene Gesserit, is pregnant with another child. She wishes to use her control of the voice and her status in the sisterhood to spread the notion that Paul is a Lisan al-Gaib, the Messiah, so they can control the Fremen and have their own base of support. Paul resists this notion, at least in the beginning.
Please listen, I am not the Messiah, do you understand? Honestly!
Only the true Messiah denies his divinity.
What?
The Fremen is split between believers in these prophecies, led by Javier Bardem Stilgar, but also including the entire southern population of fundamentalists, and non-believers, most prominently Zendaya's Chani, who see the prophecy as another one of the Bene Gesserit's attempts to control the population through religion and don't trust Lady Jessica at all.
Hey, Muad'Dib! Soko Muidma! Jalma Vahta!
However, the Bene Gesserit are playing all sides of the conflict, unbeknownst to Lady Jessica.
The reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
And they also reach out to the Harkonnen, with Austin Butler's Fayed Rutha taking on the Paul role if the Harkonnen win. Dune Part 2 is a story about the toxicity of religion, a ton of intrigue, and the power struggles within the galaxy.
May thy knife chip and shatter.
May thy knife chip and shatter.